Now look at that fish right there. That is a very nice size fish. All right, and up next is the how would you fish it segment, where I bring up an image on the screen. And this time we're going to take a look at Lowrance Active Target 2. So this has a little more enhancement to it than what you guys may have been used to. So what we're going to do is take a look at the footage. Let me know in the comments what you are seeing on the screen. Are you seeing cover? Are you seeing structure? Are you seeing fish, rocks, laydowns, brush piles? What is it that you're seeing? And also let me know how you would fish it, and then I will let you know how I would fish it. All right, so let's go ahead and bring that up on the screen. There we go, guys. Lowrance Active Target 2. What are you seeing on there, and how would you fish it? Just looking for some comments down in the comments section, and then we will go from there. All right, so I'm just looking in here, making sure I get back to my spot. And then I'll look to see what you guys are saying in here. And then I'll tell you what I see and how I would fish it. And also, once again, if anyone is in here that isn't familiar with the live imaging screen, I'll go ahead and discuss that a little bit too. I see some funny comments going on in here. I'll get caught up on that in just a second too, guys. All right, so I'm not seeing anybody drop any comments about how they would fish it. So I'm thinking as I start explaining it, some of you guys will start chiming in and saying what you see. All right, so for me, looking at this, I see a lot of good structure, and I see some cover down there, and I definitely see some fish. All right, so looking at the very top of the screen where you see that -10. Now let's go to the right of that where you see that 10-foot, 20-foot mark. Right in between that, you see a fish right there. And that fish is suspended at about 5 feet. And that water depth is about 10 to 12 feet deep right there. So for me, the way that I would fish this is I would throw a shaky head on this, guys. I would throw a shaky head or a jig. Now look at that fish right there. That is a very nice size fish. Let's just say that's a bass. Might not be a bass. I mean, that is a nice size fish, but let's just say that is a bass right there. I would definitely throw something down there like a shaky head to try to get the attention of that fish and just kind of hop it to see if that fish would follow that bait. If it doesn't take that, then I'm going to try something like a jig is what I would go to next. But yeah, that is a lot of good cover down there, a lot of good structure, and some nice fish. So when I see something like that, I know that the activity is definitely what I need. And so for you guys that may not be familiar with reading the live imaging screen, basically, if you look at that screen where you see the -10, and then right below that to the left, you see 5 feet. That area is where the boat is going to be. And then going across the top of the screen where you see the 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, that is going directly out in front of the boat. And let me just pull this back up real quick. All right, so that is going directly out away from the boat. And if you come back to that top left-hand corner again and you look down where you see 5, 10, 15, 20, that area is going to be directly beneath the boat. So as you can see from what I just explained to you, that big fish is about, what is that? That actually is right under the boat. So that big fish is right under the boat. So maybe if you drop a drop shot or something like that, but really what I would do is I would back off of this wall. I would back off some and maybe go back to about 40, 30 or 40 feet away to wherever I'm casting to, that bait would fall directly where those bigger fish are at. All right, guys. So taking a look at that, that is how I would fish it. Let me look in the comments real quick and see what you guys have started saying of how you would fish this area. All right, and let's see. All right, so we have Michael chiming in. Let's see what Michael has to say. He says the fish on the ledge is under the trolling motor. Exactly. There we go. I would drop a spoon or a drop shot. All right, there we go. So, all right, so there we go. That is option number one. Person number one, drop it in. All right, so Joseph says I'd probably start with a crankbait. All right, so you kind of daring. Joseph is kind of daring. He's gonna bang that crankbait off of the bottom. And I'm assuming that you would throw something, since that is about 15 feet, you would probably throw something like a 5XD, 6XD. If you're looking at the Strike King crankbaits, something that you can get down there and bang off the rocks is what I would think. And let's see, he says, sorry, had to swap to my PC. All right. Okay, yeah. So it just took a little second, but y'all are getting active in here, getting active. And then look who we have. Look who we have checking in. We have Cajun Rob Fishing checking back in. XD cranking. Now, I think Cajun Rob is a crankbait fisherman. Isn't that the bait that you said you'd use on the last How Would You Fish It segment? I think so. I think it might be it. But yeah, so that's 6XD. And actually, speaking of that 6XD, I did catch, and actually, I think it is my PB. My personal best largemouth was 8 pounds, 7 ounces. And I caught that on a 6XD fishing structure just like this. I did not think about that. And what I did is I paralleled that. So I did not throw it all the way up to the shallow water. I paralleled it to where I was casting it down the line, and I kept it in water that was about 10 feet deep or so, 10 to 15 deep. And I had 10-pound line on it, and I just kind of slow cranked it and let that bang off of those rocks. And that 8.7 got it, smashed it. The bad thing about it is it happened on Friday, the day before the tournament. So all I have is a story about that one, and I have some footage of it. But that did not help me in the tournament because, as you all know, the fish was not there the next day. I'm pretty sure everybody's experienced something like that. All right. And Joseph says, yeah, but you see that bait, that bait ball about 12 feet in front and 7 feet above him. That's what he's watching. Okay, let me see. So I saw that up there, but yeah, that might be a bit. Yeah, okay, I see it. I was thinking that was some interference on the screen because I know with Garmin and Lowrance, sometimes they have some type of feedback at the top of the screen like that. But looking at it again, it looks like it could possibly be some bait fish up there. All right, so good eye, good eye. All right, Vernon Neal says, looks like a rocky ledge. Exactly, that is what I was thinking, a rocky ledge. All right, a couple of fish sitting at about 2 to 5 feet and 15 feet, about 5 and 10 feet down. I throw a square bill or a drop shot. All right, guys. So it looks like that drop shot is kind of a popular thing. All right. And Cajun Rob Fishing says, yep. All right. Yep. So I was right on that. All right. And Joseph says, LOL. Yeah, you see. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, I see it now. Yeah, so it looks like it could be some bait fish up there. So yeah, so he's eyeballing that, trying to make his move on it. All right, guys. All right, so yeah, so there we go. So that is how you read your live imaging screen. And in situations like this, that is pretty much what you would some different options. And let's see, we have Brian jumping in. Brian says, I would throw a 1/4 ounce Nico rig with a Cinco wacky. Oh, he is coming in with something a little different. So who was that was talking about trying out the wacky rig? So he says, I would throw a 1/4 ounce Nico rig with a Cinco wacky. Excellent. That is an excellent combo right there. So yeah, you can watch that wacky rig and that Nico, but that wacky rig would have a very slow fall to it. That will give you a chance to see if those fish follow that bait and how they react to it. So that is good. So Michael agrees. Michael is hopping in and says, Brian, that is a good idea. So yeah, so that wacky rig, I mean, it will catch those big ones. I mean, that will flutter down and definitely get their attention. All right. So, all right, guys. So that was good. That was a good one. The How Would You Fish It segment. Really, really appreciate you guys tuning in and participating in that segment. All right. And the other thing, just wanted to drop this in there real quick. Make sure you guys check the description. I do have links to discounted products. And also right now, the 10% off sale is going on. That is on gift cards at Tackle Warehouse. So that link is in the description. And the other thing, anytime I find any other discounted products, that will be in the description also. Just click those links, guys. It really helps out the channel also. So always a good thing. All right, guys, really, really appreciate you checking out the How Would You Fish It segment. All right. So that was How Would You Fish It. Let me go ahead and pull up and just get caught up on some of these other comments because I saw some things in here where you guys were having a little bit of fun.